Do you believe that Israel has a right to exist? How many have heard this? Israel, right to exist. Are you for the Jewish people? Are you not for the Jewish people? Do you care about the only Jewish state that exists? Why don't you care about it? Are you anti Semitic? Oh, these are some of the things that people are talking about, but they talk around it. They don't talk openly about it. So, how do you approach that question when you really want to say, nah, bitch, that that dumbass supremacist, ethno supremacist, religious, weird country that is a gerrymandered Jewish majority using ethnic cleansing and genocide to get that Jewish majority and like trick a bunch of Western Jews into this idea that they have an existential threat. Meanwhile, doing the very things that Nazi Germany did to Jewish people to dehumanize Muslims simultaneously, while various other communities are actually at existential threat levels, like Latin Americans when it comes to ICE and Muslims in West Asia, because there's a genocide, and Christians also in West Asia because there's a genocide where the people doing the genocide are claiming they're protecting Christians while just stealing land and doing genocide out of Jewish supremacy. So, how do we answer that question? Does Israel have a right to exist? And how do we avoid saying, fuck you, bitch? Like, fuck that Zio hell state. Because that impacts your ability to have social capital. And we are not at the point where we can talk about Jewish exceptionalism and Jewish supremacy in the Levant and Jewish exceptionalism in the West the same way that we can talk about white privilege or male privilege openly. We just can't do that. And we also already accept this framework of, well, you know, Muslims don't deserve the same rights because just look at them. Just look at them. They sound scary. They look scary. It's such bullshit. So, thank you for coming in to watch this video, Diary of a Sing. Please like, share, subscribe, comment if it appeals to you. But this is something that I think that we all need to talk about, especially now where Mitch McConnell, is he dead, is he alive, what's going to happen out of this mess and all that. We are at a time where we are currently doing a reshuffling of our political process. We're doing a reshuffling of our voter priorities as well. So, does Israel have a right to exist? Immaterial. Dumb question. Dumb trap. It's stupid. The point has never been, does any country have any right to exist? And people know this. And I'm not reinventing the wheel. Francesca Albanese has made this exact same point. Many others have made this exact same point previous, but we always have to talk about, like, god damn it, if a liberal is going to be the one that is going to get me on this point. It's like states don't have inherent rights to exist. States change over time. Countries, their borders change. Israel doesn't have defined borders. The problem is not what you necessarily call the country, and that might offend some Palestinians as well, because I know the name is super important, but you can't change a people because a country is changed. Like, for example, I come from the Punjabi people, and the countries of India and Pakistan and now Bangladesh, they were kind of forced upon us post British colonialism, when our country prior to that was Punjab, a part of Maharaja Ranjit Singh's Sikh empire. So, like, so I'm Indian now because, like, I never lived there, first of all. Second of all, prior to British colonialism, my peoples were Punjabi. So what does that even mean? So ultimately, Palestinians get to be their own people. And at this point, Israeli ethnicity and nationality, I guess you could say, or tribal group or whatever, it's been like what, 3 generations, 4 generations. It's a group, okay. So yeah, but how does one operate is what is most interesting. Do you operate through oppression, through theft, colonial theft, through supremacy, through genocide? So how a state exists matters more than does a state have a right to exist? And does Palestine have a right to exist? Do they ever ask that question? Do they ever ask the question of what does it matter if people care about your right to exist when you, in fact, do actually exist? And the only relevance for any of this is we want to continuously expand our borders at the expense of the indigenous people of this land. And the frustration that Israeli Jews seem to have and the Israeli Jewish society seems to have is, why is everybody picking on us when we're just doing what America did in the 17 and 1800s? We're just late to the colonialism table. So turn your heads away and let us do this. They think that that's a good argument when in reality, what the American colonizers did to the indigenous of America and was atrocious. What happened to the indigenous of the Americas, the 10 million that were genocided in the United States of America, and the up to 50 million that were genocided through the North and South American colonization. I mean, it's absolutely horrific. And then now we have ICE uh, detaining and expelling people that are the most direct descendants of the indigenous of this land. So, you know, like, do indigenous Americans have a right to exist in their internal island as their own sovereign country? Like, what does that mean? I think we're beyond that. We're at a point where you cannot conquer territories and then subjugate people as non-voting residents without rights. That's the issue here. Like, you cannot have supremacism. And my tax dollars going towards that is the issue here. That's the complete issue. So, does Israel have a right to exist? No, motherfucker. It does not have a right to exist. But in polite company, we bring up all the points of how it's an unequal society and how a society exists without apartheid and through equality. That's what actually matters. So, thank you for watching this video. Wagyu Jika Khalsa, Wagyu Jiki Fateh, and in solidarity with all in Palestine, in Sudan, in Congo, in Ukraine, in all of the various places that there is conflict, all the various places that Western imperialism touches those conflicts to make them even worse. I'm in solidarity with you. And I'm in solidarity with all of the working peoples of the world, because ultimately, we can't even afford to have the divisions that we have. Even if you don't care about the human rights abuses, we quite literally cannot financially afford to be so divided. So please gather your empathy and start fighting if you haven't already, because uh, I just don't know how we're going to continue to be able to fund these endless wars and fund our gas tanks, like in the process of all this stupidity based on corporate PAC nepotism. So anyways, yeah. And I'll end this with, fuck Israel.